Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the post-show video wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your co-host, Lee Heisman, with my co-host, Ted Jenkin. And guys, the owner of Wild Heaven, Eric Johnson. Eric is amazing across the board. Please go back and listen to the show in its entirety. Also, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, hit the notification button so you can see great entrepreneurs like Eric come on the show every single week. Eric, thank you so much. Again, you're a professional in TV. Tell us a little about Wild Heaven and obviously your history with how you started it.
Well, we started Wild Heaven about 10 years ago with my partner, Nick Purdy, and had a number of other wonderful people that were involved in it. And I think it was just our vision for what beer could be and looking at the culinary aspects of beer and then the European brewing tradition and how we were going to help be part of creating the narrative of what craft beer in America, of what we wanted craft beer in America to be, because we feel like that beverage is so transcendent and so much of what had occurred in brewing to date, we felt like was pretty uninspired, and there was just so much space to kind of carve out our own niche and do something really, really cool. And it's been the ride of a lifetime.
You know, Eric, with your background and doing Garden Smart on PBS for the last 17 years, and not a lot of breweries in Atlanta have somebody as a brewmaster who has that horticulture background and also knows the chemistry of beer making. How does that play into how you decide the flavor palette on beers when you create them?
We're constantly thinking about what flavors have not been introduced in beer. And, I think about that when I cook. I think about that when I garden. I'll oftentimes go to like a little Lebanese grocery store and buy all 10 things I've never heard of and then take them back home, figure out how to cook with them, and then contemplate, how do we bring to you as the consumer a new flavor? If we can introduce you to something that you've never had before and see that wow moment in your eye, that's what we live for. And I think that's what makes Wild Heaven different.
Well, I'll tell you, Eric, you've given me that wow moment because I was not a big beer drinker or even a drinker in general. I'm actually going to be coming now because everything I heard from you on the show. So
awesome.
For entrepreneurs out there, what advice would you give them? I know you're a man of many talents. That's what he's listening to on the show. What advice would you give entrepreneurs about really following their passion? Because that's kind of what you've done, and you've incorporated it into every aspect of your life.
Yeah, and I would say this, if you're not passionate about it, then what contribution are you making to that industry anyways? And also, you're not going to have fun. You're not going to be happy doing it. I would say surround yourself with people who are smarter than you and just get the brutal truth about if it's beer. Everyone who invites their friends over to drink free beer is going to get the wrong feedback because people love free beer, and so they're going to love it. But take your beer to somewhere like Brickstore Pub, where they're really, really hard on, they only pour the best. So see how, whatever you make, whatever you do, get feedback from people who are at the very, very top of their class. And listen to that and be humble. I think that humility is what makes for great entrepreneurs anyways. We don't know it all. And if we arrogantly go through life thinking that simply because Eric made it, you should drink it, that's ridiculous. We need to be open to the feedback that makes us better.
You've been all around the country, seen all kinds of gardens. Is there a place in the United States that you would say outside of Atlanta that just, if you're going to travel, a lot of people still with COVID are thinking, I'm not sure if I'm going to go overseas. Is there a place you would go to say it'll just be a magical experience going to those gardens?
Oh, man. Well, actually, ironically, the Garden State.
Yeah,
Jersey.
That's our home.
People never think of Jersey, or whatever they think of, of New Jersey. It's not gardens, but there's so many. I think of Jersey as like an incredible garden destination. Wow. Also Michigan, Pennsylvania. There's a lot. As you start nudging up into New England, that's where some of my favorite gardens are. But I mean, my favorite garden is the Atlanta Botanical Garden. It just is that good.
Best one in the state. So how do people best one in the country, you said? Sorry.
It's one of the best in the country.
How do people get in touch with you, not only to get to your brewery, but also if they're going and shopping in a local store, what are they going to look out for? Because you talked about your artwork and how important that was to be eye-catching.
Yeah, so you can find us easily, wildheavenbeer.com. Visit one of our breweries, Avondale Estates or Decatur. And it's a little bit of an Easter egg hunt when you go to the grocery store to find your favorite brewery, just because there's so much out there. We probably haven't made that particularly easy on customers, because we love, like, each individual beer almost behaves like its own brand. All Wild Heaven beers have a little ribbon on the front of them that say Wild Heaven beer. And if you find Wild Heaven in a store, it's typically our other brands are sitting right beside Emergency Drinking Beer, so you can kind of look for that one.
It's wonderful. Well, I'm going to say one thing. If Eric says it, I'm doing it. I know he gave advice. I know he gave advice not to do that, but after spending an hour with this gentleman, if he says it, I'm going to do it. I recommend you do the same. And also, if we say it at the Shrimp Tank, you should do it. Go back and listen to a few other episodes. We had a great entrepreneur, our good friend of the studio, Dave Wazalewski, the co-founder of Spanx, the CEO of Privé Revaux, a sunglasses company. Follow great entrepreneurs like that. Go find these other videos and learn more. Guys, thank you so much. Eric, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, guys.
Guys, that was the post-show video wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.